I bring greetings to you from Global Episcopal Council of India and on behalf of GC's core team. This is Archbishop Valerian Albuquerque, and today I'm going to explain how to fill notice of marriage. The register that was given to you during the time of ordination, the first copy is called Notice of Marriage. So let's begin. But before that, I would like to let you know why we have to issue a notice of marriage. And this is mandatory under Christian Marriage Act. Before the marriage, 1 month notice has to be given, and without that, no marriages will be performed. And if so found, you will be liable before the law. So therefore, I would request all pastors to please kindly follow the regulations laid down by the government that before the marriage 1 month notice period has to be served, and I hope you take this seriously. Let's begin. The first column is called the number column, and you have a circle, and I put number 1. Since this is your first marriage, you would always put number 1 here, and whatever you put here will also be reflected in the certificate of marriage. Both the copies will have number 1 here, and also the register copy, the fourth one in the register, will also have number 1 here. So please keep in mind that you don't change this number. This is more or less like a serial number. So for one wedding you have to use only one number. So for your second marriage you will have number 2 on the notice of marriage, then same number 2 on certificate, and also on the register copy. The next is called when married, and you have 3 columns here. The first one is the day, month and year, and since both the person is going to get married on the same day, you have to just mention it once. This is just looks neat, presentable. All right, so you just have to mention, since they're getting married on the same day, why to put two times? So you have 19/4/2021. Okay, so you have the day 19th, month 4, and the year 2021. After this comes the third major column, that is called the name of the parties, and you have 2 columns here: Christian name and surname, or the last name. Now, Christian names, the name that reflects in your birth certificate, and in front of the column called religion, if it is Christian, then that name will come over here. Okay, so you have to ask the birth certificate of the person, or if he doesn't have the birth certificate, then you can go for the school living certificate, and just check in the religion column what it is mentioned. And kindly note that Christian name does not mean baptismal name. As I mentioned, baptismal name is used for those people who are converted from non-Christian background. So at that time you give them a Christian name, but that name will not come over here. If in case you want to use that name, baptismal name, then you have to produce a gazette, go to the collector, and follow proper procedure for the name change. So please do not use baptismal name over here, only use Christian name. All right, so, and in case if the party that is getting married, in this case the boy is called Sudhir, he is from the non-Christian background. So in this case, if his birth certificate is not saying Christian, then you have to take in writing on a bond paper, 100 rupees bond paper, notarized, and the proforma or the sample copy is there on our website. You can take it and put exactly what is written over there, only change the name, the age and all that personal details, and stick a photograph, sign across, and then put a thumb impression, and then notarize that copy, and then hand over the photocopy to your pastor. The original will always be with the boy or the girl. Only photocopy you have to take, don't take the original. So in that case, again, the name will always be remaining the same as it reflects in the birth certificate, not in the baptism certificate. Okay, so please keep this in mind, that the name which reflects in the birth certificate, passport or Aadhaar card will reflect over here. And in this case, since this person is not a Christian, I kept the same name here, and I have taken an affidavit, sworn affidavit, which proves that they have accepted Christianity as their current faith. So in the court of law, you will not land into problem. Neither this person will land into problem. Remember, this is a Christian Marriage Act marriage. Okay, not a Special Marriage Act license. So person has to be a Christian, and the only way that they can do is through the court of law. And the law says that you have to declare your faith under a sworn affidavit. In certain cases, in certain states where the anti-conversion law is applicable, then they have to follow that particular procedure of going through the collectorate and having their religion changed. So that is another process that you can do. But to be on the safer side, 100 rupees bond paper affidavit will help both the parties when it comes to marriages. Okay, then after that comes the age column over here. You see the age column, that is from the time the birth certificate, you have to count the number of years. So in this case, it is 28 years when he is going to get married. So don't put date of birth over here, only the number of years. So you have to calculate, and for the girl side it is 22. So you have to write age and not date of birth. Okay, so age was 28 and 22. And then the next column is called condition. This means that when they were getting married, at the time of marriage, see the boy at the time of marriage, since this was his first marriage, it will always be bachelor. You don't have to write all this. I've just put this for your reference so that I could explain to you what are the different conditions. So only one you have to write. So what is the condition when this person was getting married? Of course, in this case, he was a bachelor, so I have written the word bachelor. And in the case of the girl, we write spinster. Okay, so these two words we use in case if this is their first marriage. Now, in certain scenarios, this may be the second marriage. So there are two conditions in that. Number one is he is a divorcee. That is, he got married, but due to certain reasons could not get along, so got himself divorced, and only through the court of law. If he does not produce a court certificate of divorce, then he cannot get married. It is against the law, and this marriage would be illegal, and you might come under the law jurisdiction, and you will be persecuted for getting a person married without a proper document. So it's a very serious crime, 5 years in imprisonment. So please be very careful that you have to make sure that this person is not married before, and if he is, then he has to produce a divorce certificate in case if the person got married and the party is still alive. Now, as I have already mentioned during the time of ordination, that the scripture clearly restricts us from getting any person married whose partner is still alive. You can get divorced, but if your if the person, your better half is still alive, whether boy or the girl, you cannot get married again. You have to pray and wait till that person dies. Okay. Okay. So anyway, I don't get anybody married when they are a divorcee. I straight away send them to the court, and I get them married there, but not in the church. The third scenario would be the widow or widower. Due to some reason, the party, the better half dies. So the Bible also says that if a person dies, then he is freed from the law of marriage and he can remarry. So there is absolutely no problem. So I get, if anybody comes to me where the better half is dead, then I get them married, provided the age is the factor. Okay, so if he is young, maybe 30, 40, then there is absolutely no problem. But if this number is reversed, 82, and he wants to get married with 22, then I would uh, advise that, please do not solemnize such marriages. So the age factor, okay, if they are young, even Paul says young person, can get married. Let, instead of burning in the desire, let him get married. So it's only for the case of the widow and not for the divorcee. Okay, Paul makes it very clear. It's only for the widower and not for the divorcee. So divorcee has to reconcile to the better half, and only pray that that person departs. Then only he can get married again. So this is your choice. As per the government is concerned, the government has got nothing to do with the spiritual laws. They only say if the person is divorcee, then okay, produce a court certificate, then you can get them married. Now it's up to your conscience before God. If you feel that there is no problem, then I have no issues. You have to give answer to the Lord. So it's up to you. Then comes the next column, that is called rank of profession. At the time of marriage, what was the boy doing and what was the girl doing? In this case, the boy was self-employed. He has a shop, so I have mentioned self-employed. You can write down over here business or government servant or scientist, doctor, engineer, whatever you can mention here. Since the girl was not doing anything, she was just a student, so I mentioned over here student. So, or you can just say not working, right? In case generally girl side, of course now everybody is a working class, so you can write either student or not working. Then comes the next is called the residence at the time of marriage. Now this particular column, if both the party, that is boy and the girl, comes from the same state, in this case, like they are both from Maharashtra, so I don't have to ask for any other proof, residential proof, except for a light bill. So if they are from the same state, within the state, then the light bill will do, suffice. There is no problem. Or even Aadhaar card will do, not a problem, provided they stay there. So you have to take one document of their residential proof. In case if they come from a different state, suppose say for example the boy is from Meghalaya or Delhi, then you have to ask them to produce a domicile certificate. Now what is domicile certificate? It's called residence proof, and this is available in municipal corporation, panchayat, samiti, even at the collectorate office. There is a prescribed form you have to fill. It's very easy. You just have to fill up the form. They will sign it and they will give it to you. So you have to ask for a domicile certificate only in the case if the person who is getting married is from a different state, outside of the state that the marriage is taking place. If okay, so that you have to keep in mind. And then finally the last column is called father's name. Now over here also mother's name also can come here. So not necessary that if there is a single parent issue, then you can also write down the mother's name, but only one person name will come here. Or in case if they are orphan, then the guardian's name also can come over here. So in this case, of course, he has a father, so Subhash Ghorpade, and girl also has got a father, so Bharat Balera. I hope you understand this column. Okay, so after we finish this, let's go to the below section. Okay, and in this below section you have the church name, and since the announcement or the notice of marriage will be announced in both the churches, since both of them belong to different church, in case if they are from the same church, then only one church name will come. You don't have to fill up the second column, only the one column will be there. So you have to just mention 1 and 2 and just write the church name, if they belong to the same church. If they belong to different church, then both the church name will be here. And then comes the important thing that is called the announcement date, when the announcement will be made in both the churches. So you have the first banns. Now this is not band, it is bands. Okay, so you don't have to band nahi bajana hai. So first bands, this is, it means announcement. So on the first it is 4/4/2021, the second bands would be on 11/4/21, and the third bands would be on 18/4/21. So this is the 3 weeks announcement for the couple that is getting married. As I mentioned, I forgot to let you know that the reason why we are giving 3 weeks or 1 month notice is that because in case if the boy or the girl changes their mind, then they have this period, buffer period we call it, where they are praying, seeking the Lord, and in case if they feel that they don't want to get married, then within this period they can take back their words and say, okay, we don't want to proceed, or they want to proceed, whatever. So this period helps them to understand the seriousness of marriage and also make a choice after considering all factors. Do the background check of the boy, the girl, family background check of the boy and the girl. So this 1 month period helps to find out if there is anything fishy, or if you want to know more information, then you can take and reaffirm whether are you serious, I really want to go ahead with the marriage. So that's why government says give the couple, the parents, time to think. It should not be done in haste, in a hurry. So that's why you have this 1 month notice period, and during that time all the exchange of the documents takes place between both the churches, where the NOC, the marriage certificate, details, and birth certificate, all these things during this 1 month time. So you see, it's very, very important to give time for the couple to collect all the documents, do background check and everything during this particular period. And only after they are sure, praying, seeking the Lord, fasting, do whatever you want. Okay, but once they get married, then you cannot change your words. So this is the time given to them so that they can change their mind. Also, when you make an announcement, in case if there are certain parties, maybe outside, maybe the church or outside, somebody knows that this, whether the boy or the girl had already got married. Okay, so this is the time where such things will be brought to light. So if anybody knows that they have secretly got married, and again he is getting married, or divorce cases are still filed in the court and he is going ahead and getting married, or the wife is, or the husband is still alive and going ahead and getting married. So see, such cases will be exposed during this particular waiting period. Okay, after that comes the next column which you find on the register, signature and the name of the person who has issued this particular notice. So in this case the girl's father had come, so I had mentioned the girl's father's name, Bharat Balera, and he has to sign over here. Okay, now the older register, all those who have previously taken ordination, the notice of marriage does not have this particular column. So you have to write over there. Okay, I'm sorry, this later I brought some changes in this, so that you don't have to again and again prepare 2 to 3 documents. It's only in one document you get everything. So that's how I included this recently, and that's how on all the new ordination you have all these details. So only this detail, okay, this detail you will not find in the old register, but you have to write it down. And then finally in the notice of marriage you have the person solemnizing the marriage. In this case it's me, Archbishop Valerian Albuquerque. So signature of the person solemnizing the marriage. So my signature is here. So you have to sign it, and then one copy you have to send to the boys' pastor, and the second one to the girls' pastor, in case they are not from your church. If they are from your church, then of course one you have to keep for yourself, the other one you have to give it to the boy party or the girl party. Take a photocopy and give it to them along with the NOC, that is of the girl or the boy. If the girl is from your side, then you have to give an NOC for the girl along with this notice of marriage to the boy's pastor. And then likewise, the boy's pastor will send only the NOC to you, because already he received the notice of marriage, so he doesn't have to again write down. So I hope this video would help you to understand not just how to fill up this form, notice of marriage, but also the various parts, when it has to be done, what it has to be done. And if in case there is any question still remaining, you can call us, get in touch with us through our website. These videos are also available on our website, so you can check it out on YouTube, Global Episcopal Council of India YouTube channel, so you can watch it and also subscribe before leaving. On behalf of Global Episcopal Council of India and our national team, I thank you once again, and may the Lord richly bless you as you solemnize marriages. Shalom. Praise the Lord.